Well, good morning, family. This is Janice Johnson from Cancer Out Academy. Information for the patient, the caregiver, the survivor, and everyone in between. I bet you guys are saying, where have you been? That's a very good question. I have been a busy bee. I have been doing quite a bit in the area of advocacy. I think the last time you heard from me, I was up in Washington and speaking to people up at Congress about some of the different initiatives that we're trying to get pushed through. That was a successful trip, but it was kind of a stressful trip as well, especially after I got home. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Some of the things that happened post trip was pretty traumatic for me, and it left me reeling for a couple of days. And so I thought initially that, I would just try to recover and move forward. But this morning, after I completed a meeting, it occurred to me as I was reading an article about the fact that we need to talk about something that's very real, and that's anxiety and depression. When I got back home, I experienced some things I did not intend to experience as a result of my trip. And it kept me, at first I was trying to handle it, and it got to be a lot. And I spent a couple of days where I had just a lot of emotions. I was discouraged, I was disappointed, I was surprised, and I was angry. And that kind of left me almost in what I'm going to say a state of somewhat. Depression. Thank God it didn't last long, but it was still there, because when you fight a good fight with a heart that you know is pure, it's really kind of discouraging for those who say that they are with you to be the ones who are also stabbing you. And enough said about that. But I want to refer to an article, and it's called "Can Depression Cause Memory Loss?" For the cancer patient, we refer to that as chemo brain. And now that I think about it, it really makes so much sense, because when you get a cancer diagnosis and you're going through treatments and different things like that, you can't eat. Sometimes you can't move around the way you want to. You can't socialize with friends and loved ones. It can put you in a state of depression, and then you can't remember things. This particular article was written by Kristen Fisher, and she's a writer on a website called thehealthy.com. And in this article, Kristen referenced some high hitters in the medical world. She referenced in particular the Harvard Medical School, a study that they put out in 2018 in the publication Trends in Neuroscience. It basically talks about depression, and a couple of the points that was brought out in the article was that when you are going through depression, you have a difficult time recalling information that you ironically, though, you do have a better sense of negative things, So there we go. We seem to gravitate to the negative, but it does say in the article that sometimes you will actually be able to recall negative things sooner than you would things that are not negative. Of course, that this increases anxiety, but the good thing is that it is temporary. So basically, the article states that when the situation comes down, it wanes, it's over. Then so does the anxiety and the depression. It eventually goes away. Y'all, I am not kidding. I actually experienced this. I was just on point. My memory was just popping, just doing really, really good. But after about 3 weeks of working hard to get through the situation, the challenge that occurred post trip, I got to the point where I couldn't remember a thing. I was trying to remember simple stuff, and I was like, what's going on is not making any sense. But when I read this article, it just triggered it triggered me to say, hey, yeah, that makes plenty of sense. Because when you're stressed, you're not really eating right, you're not exercising well, you're not sleeping well in some situation. You're just focused on, number one, what the heck is going on, number two, why is it going on, and number three, what in the world can I do about it? So what I wanted to say here is, I want to lead you today to the only answer that I know, and that's the Word of God. And in Philippians, the 4th chapter, in the 8th verse, it says, let me get over to Philippians real quick. I'm sorry, I thought I had already turned to it. Philippians 4. Yeah. Here we go. It says, finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. That's the way to get through it. There's a lot going on. Things have disappointed you, decisions, choices, whatever. Try to think about something good and try to make that become more important than the thing that's bad. Because one thing that the author of the article did say, and I happen to agree on, is that it is temporary. It will pass. This too shall pass. But try to keep yourself in a situation, if you can, that is not going to even give the opportunity for the stressful situations to occur. In other words, pray before you do everything. Pray before you do everything. Pray before you do everything. Think on the good things, and this is the good thing I want you to think on today. You shall live and not die prematurely, and declare the works of the Lord. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.